I was at Olav's earlier. I ran into this Dunmer named Reynold Draelis. After a round or two, he told me he was an honest-to-goodness vampire hunter.
Huh, that seems interesting.
Yes, the vampire hunter. As far as I know, he just showed up recently here in Bruma. Not only that, but he already found a vampire among us. Apparently, Braden Lyrian was one of those vile creatures, and Raynil slew him. Kind of strange, though. I never figured Braden to be a vampire. He seemed to be such a likable fellow. Be seeing you.
Hello.
Interesting. Vampire hunter. Alright, well this seems like a job for Magic Fister. That hurts.
Fight well. What's the latest?
I've heard Edward Darkheart was once an assassin.
This seems to be the residence. Might as well check it out. Ooh, that seems brutal.
You're going to have to leave. This is a crime scene, and no one other than ourselves, our Reynold Draelis, will be allowed access.
What happened?
The culprit in this crime has already been dealt with. It's just a matter of wrapping up the details. I'd tell you more, but frankly, I don't know who you are, so I'm not sure that I can trust you with that sort of information.
Well, I'll have you know, I am Magic Fister. But maybe I should tell you some jokes. Oh, well, it seems like you're not a fan of jokes. Well, may I say, that's,
I would have... Your West... Please, I'm embarrassed. Well done.
May I say that, you're quite the lovely
You can't
man.
scare me. What? Not funny. Not even a little bit. I would have... Please, I'm embarrassed, but... Oh, please. Is that... What? What a... Ugh. That's foul.
So you're gonna tell me more about Raylan Draelis?
I suppose there's no harm in telling you what happened. Word is bound to get around Bruma anyway. Turns out that Braden Lyrian is a vampire. Or was. If it wasn't for Reynold Draelis, we may never have uncovered the truth. Let me explain. In the last week or so, we've found 2 bodies stashed in shallow graves outside the city walls. The bodies had puncture wounds on their necks.
Oh my!
The bodies were those of some beggars who used to wander the streets looking for handouts. Vampire probably thought no one would miss them. Luckily for us, Raynil arrived in town. He said he was a vampire hunter, so we asked for his help. He tracked the vampire to this house. When he entered the place around noon, Braden was sleeping. He was able to slay him at that point. Luckily, Braden's wife wasn't home. Poor thing. She didn't even know her husband was infected. We did a follow-up investigation, and it's true that no one recollects seeing Braden out in the daylight. He's only been spotted at night. I'm afraid there's not much more to tell you, so you can see we really don't need any help, but thanks for the offer.
Okay, well, do you guys mind if I do my own, little investigation? You know, as a a third-party investigator, to make sure there's no, bias and whatnot.
As far as I know, he was a good man. I never saw this coming. But vampires are masters of deception, so I guess it makes sense. I'm impressed. It only took him a day to track the vampire down. I guess that's why he does it for a living. Feel free to question. I'm going to make arrangements for removal of the bodies, and then I'll probably stay on guard here for a bit. We're afraid there may be retribution on Braden's wife, even though she had nothing to do with it. Vampires are a hated lot.
Oh, okay.
Feel free to question anyone in town. They shouldn't give you too much trouble.
What about you?
Perhaps you can help me.
I'll help you in a
Excuse
second.
me. Sorry, I have a lot of work to do.
Oh, well, okay. What can you
I
tell
can't
me?
believe this is happening. Please, please, I need your help. My husband was no vampire. It's ridiculous. No one will listen to me.
calm down. What can I help with?
Forgive me. I loved my husband dearly, and to lose him this way makes no sense. Anything you can do to help would be wonderful. This is all happening so fast.
Alright, let's go down your end of the story.
I came home only just a few hours ago. I found the door open, and my Braden dead. Standing over him was a Dunmer. I screamed and ran out into the street. Some city watch were nearby and heard me, I suppose, as they arrived quickly. I heard the Dunmer identify himself as Rainiel Draelus. He said he was a vampire hunter, and that Braden was his mark. The guards seemed to know about Rainiel, and after a search of the house, the body of some beggar was found stashed in our basement. The guards sent for Carius, who is an investigator for crimes here in Bruma. In minutes, Rainiel convinced Carius that Braden was a vampire.
Yeah, it doesn't really look good for your husband.
Well, of course it does. It was obviously planted here. Why would he stash a body in his own house? That's ridiculous. And another thing. The guards are making a big deal out of no one seeing Braden out in the daylight. Well, of course that's the case. He works at night and has to sleep during the day. Why does that make him a vampire? It's all that Rainiel character. I don't trust him. The thing that bothers me the most is that I swear I've seen him before. Of course, he says he's never been here. Look, there isn't much more to say. Please, help me clear my husband's name.
What can you tell me about this Dunmer?
I have no idea where he'd be. Just find him and make him tell you the truth. I swear he's a liar.
Okay.
I know I sound desperate, but I know I'm right.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. Yeah. Where's my... There. Ugh, I hate the lockpicking. Okay, well, that's strange.
Excuse me.
What can you tell
So,
me?
any new revelations? I'm sure Erlene is very upset. She'll be safe, though. Rainiel has confirmed with us that she isn't infected. Her accusations that Rainiel is lying is not surprising. At this point, she's so upset that she'll say anything to deny what really happened. I suppose if I found out a loved one was something as... I'll warn you about one thing. I understand you wanting to help Erlene by checking up on Rainiel. We have it on good authority from officials in a neighboring city that Rainiel is what he says he is. So I'm not sure what you're trying to prove. I am only allowing you to do this investigation, and I use that term very loosely, because Erlene is so distraught.
Okay.
Keep up
Hello.
the good work, I suppose.
Alright, well... Well, maybe I should take a good look at the body.
Hello.
I mean... Kinda looks like a vampire. Yeah. Alright. Let's look for...
Hello.
I guess to go to the tavern and talk to some people. Because I'm pretty sure the tavern's a great place for all that information.
Well met.
Well, hey, virgins! How's it going?
You get any closer and I'll turn your bones to ash. Back off.
Hello. What can I do for you today?
So, what can you tell me about, Relendralis.
I usually don't give out that kind of information.
What can you tell me about Brandon?
I know I may be out of line by saying this, but I think the city guards may be wrong. It's hard to imagine Braden was a vampire. I could have sworn I saw him outside in the daylight before. Unless he just got that disease very recently, I'd say they were mistaken. When I heard Raynil killed him, I didn't know what to think. But after your visit here, I'm beginning to wonder.
Yeah, I agree. Something seems a bit suspicious.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, that's cute. No, yeah. Don't be silly. I usually don't.
Ugh, I fucking hate this shit.
I'm listening. Every little bit helps. I usually don't give up. For me, thanks. Raynil's staying in the last room down the hall upstairs. Here's the key.
Okay.
I always liked Braden and Arlene. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either.
Alright. Let's see. Anything suspicious? Oh look, a suspiciously placed book.
What do you think about all of Skjorta's antics?
Yo, what happened?
What can I do? Geliborn? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raynil told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelborn down and killed him. That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raynil and his so-called accomplishment. And nothing else I can tell you. Olga, sure. The Countess. Just look for me if you need anything else.
Interesting. Alright, well, let's get some clarification from that investigating guard. What's
What?
with you?
We're looking for recruit.
Oh.
Join the guild. You won't regret it.
Well, not yet. I gotta be, like, 30. Hey, what's
Hello.
up with you?
Do you have any more questions? I'm afraid.
So, who's Galaborn?
Yes, I remember Braden mentioning that name once. He was part of the brotherhood he had created with Raynil.
Oh, okay.
I know I sound desperate, but I...
So, any new revel...
Yeah, so who's Galaborn?
How do you know about that? Oh, too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Geliborn was killed by Raynil not too long ago. Geliborn was a vampire as well, obviously.
I disagree.
What do you mean, you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Geliborn was not a vampire?
Here's a journal.
I don't know what to say. It all makes perfect sense now. Why else would Raynil have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either. It must have been removed by Raynil from Braden's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed, and that I'm responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless. I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olev's Tap and Tack in 1 hour.
Alright.
Do you have any more... I know I sound
Good, let's gonna get this fucker and we're gonna dab on his corpse. And stuff. Obviously go somewhere. I don't know.
Hello. You get any closer and I'll turn your... Alval Yuvani. I'm an evil wizard. I like blowing things up. And I have lots of time on my hands since I'm loaded with gold. So I blow things up, and burn them, and frost them, and shock the living daylights out of them. But I'm a smart, law-abiding evil wizard, because I only blow up my own stuff. So don't get any ideas about murdering me and looting my gold. Aside from the fact that I'll kick your ass, it's against the law, and you'll rot in jail for it. So, how do you like them apples?
Okay, what's your deal?
My neighbors grumble a lot, but what can they do? No law against practicing my skills. Thinking about sticking your paw in my pocket? Go ahead. I'll blow you to cream corn, and the law will love me for it.
Okay.
Be seeing you.
I understand the Fighters Guild is...
You get any closer, and I'll turn your bones to ash.
Just before I arrived here, I received a report from one of our scouts watching the roads.
Okay.
Raynal was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Gelliborn's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape. I'm keeping the city guard in Bruma, as Raynal doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment. Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him.
Aye.
Raynal will pay for both crimes. Gelliborn was likely another innocent if all you say is true. I can't wait to get my hands on Raynal. He'll become very familiar with Bruma's dungeons, or the end of my blade if he doesn't come peacefully.
Alright.
Please.
Hello.
Hurry.
I'll bear that in mind. Let's go kick his ass. Okay, it's all the way over there.
This ends here! I'll separate your head from your shoulders. Die! Yeah! You're pathetic. You dare oppose the might? It ends here. Why won't you die? You'll never take me down. You'll never take... Die, damn you! You'll never take me down. Let's get this over with.
Hey. Let's go in. Alright, that Boreal Stone Cave. Time to go see whoever needs to get fisted gets fisted. Hello? Oh, hi there.
Congratulations. I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part. I saw you enter Olav's tap and tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer.
So you're not gonna surrender?
Certainly not. I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here, but then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom.
Alright, well, just to let you know, this is your last chance where you're gonna get fisted.
Yes, I suppose it is. Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck.
Yep, good luck to you.
Ow! Let's get this over with!
Huh. Glass longsword, mithril armor. Huh, this guy looking for a fight, but what's in here? Mundane amulet? Okay. What else is in here? Intelligent potion. I wanna guess nothing. Gold. Okay. Well. If only all dungeons were like this, anyway. Alright. Let's go back to Bruma. East Gate.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Ho ho. How do you do?
I was praying for you. What news do you bring?
I killed him.
I knew I'd recognise Raynil. I think when I first met Braden many years ago, he introduced me to him. They were part of some sort of brotherhood. They would roam Cyrodiil in search of legendary treasures and the like. The only reason he stopped doing that is because we got married and he wanted to settle down. I'm afraid, thanks to Raynil, that time is lost.
So what about this mundane amulet?
Long ago, I made a promise to Braden. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now. However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Braden would understand why I'm breaking that pact.
And the fact he's dead.
Braden told me about this amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state.
Did the word die with Braden?
No. He always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Braden's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed, only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered.
Sure.
Thank you. I will now speak the word. Brother, here is the amulet back. It's as beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Braden would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel.
Thank you so much. So what about the Dark Elf?
I'm glad he's dead. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I think you understand.
Alright.
Justice has been done.
And you're welcome for it, but what's the amulet? Oh. 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 That... I mean, does it at least look cool? I mean, a little bit, but it's not green like mine. Oh well. Yeah, it'll make a fine addition to my collection. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this session of The Adventures of Magic Fister. It's a bit short, but, you know, it's whatever. So we did 2 quests, and, you know, that's all I can ask for. Well, later, guys.